Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is the element of art line. There's several, but we're going to start with line. Hopefully you have obtained a sketchbook of some type. Mine is mixed media, so I can use a whole bunch of different things as we do our lessons. If you have just copy paper, if you have notebook paper, if you have a spiral bound, if you have a composition book, everything is good as long as you have paper. Now, before you get started, find a cereal box or something to put behind the sheet you're working on to keep your ink from going through to the other pages behind it. That's called blotter paper if we were living in the olden days. So anyway, we're going to start with different lines. And the first one we're going to do is just your straight line. Okay? That line can be short, it can be long, it can be vertical, it can be diagonal. Let's look at vertical. Vertical, it's a tall line. Portrait, if you're printing on the computer. Then it can also be horizontal, it can be diagonal, but that's your basic line, okay? The second line is taking that and we're going to make it broken. So you just have a space between each line, and that's your broken line. Okay, so let's put some action, some movement to the line, and then you can have a curvy line. Okay, that's also called an S line. And in a lot of videos, if you're watching some drawing videos while you're not at school, they might say, here's an S line. You'll hear perpendicular, you'll hear parallel, you hear all kinds of terms when you're using lines. Okay, so we've done line, broken line, curvy line, S line. Let's look at something else fun that shows movement. How about a zigzag line? And they don't all have to be the same size. That would be kind of boring. All right, so now we have a zigzag line. So we have a regular line, broken line, curvy line, which is an S curve line, a zigzag line. Now let's just do a curved line. All right, just your basic curve. So those are the basic lines that we're going to be using and for our art projects right now. But let's add something fun. It's not a shape because it's not a closed figure. But let's add a spiral. Those are fun. Okay, so now the first project we're going to do is you're going to take each one of these lines, each one, and you're going to create a picture using those lines. Don't think object. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So don't forget to put your sheet in there to keep your sheet behind free of bleed through. And this is the way I want to do this. We're going to draw and then we're going to rotate and then we're going to do the next one. So this is what I mean by that. So we're going to do a line. It can be vertical, it can be parallel, perpendicular, diagonal, it doesn't matter. So we're going to do two regular lines. Then we're going to rotate, doesn't matter, but we're going to rotate, doesn't matter which direction. And let's do a broken line. Yeah, make them overlap a little bit. And then remember, we're going to use that line twice. I think I will do a broken line this way. So we've used two. So the next thing let's use is a wavy line. Rotate. And we're going to do a wavy line. Oh, all the way across there. That's lovely. And then let's do a wavy line up here. Okay? So then we're going to rotate. And after curvy line, let's do a zigzag line. Now, remember, we're going to do two. Oh, I don't like that. Let's make that darker. All right, I think I'll stop with that one. So we've done a regular line, We've done a broken line. We've done a wavy line. We've done a zigzag line. So the last one that we're going to do, rotate, is we're going to do the curved line. And it doesn't matter if it goes upper or lower. Okay, ooh, I like that. So I think I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to add a spiral. Oh, that's nice. So I'm going to add one more. I think I'm going to make it smaller. It just adds some interest. All right, so that's your first masterpiece. Yes, that is your first masterpiece. Now I'm going to come back and show you a finished in a photograph. But think about using whatever supplies you have at home. I think I might do some watercolor wash on it. And remember, if you're using regular paper and have watercolors, don't get the paper too wet. It'll put holes in it. You can use crayons, colored pencils, basically anything you have at home to just give it some color. Think abstract, which means random. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Just color. So I'll come back and show you a finished picture. And go ahead, 2 of each line. Rotate the paper and go back and watch the video if you need a little bit more guidance. All right, I decided to add to this video to show you some technique because I was having too much fun. Okay, so this is my little paint palette. Yours probably is a little different. So anyway, you get your brush just a little bit wet. Not soaking wet, drippy. And then you want your paint to be moist. Look at that vibrant color. And just put a wash. If you choose to do something like this, you might do something a little different with crayons. But if you want to use paint, basically what I want you to see is don't make it too particular, too perfect, because this is basically an abstract picture. So you just keep adding, and you know what, if you don't like a color, don't use a whole lot of it. The less water, the heavier the paint, the darker the pigment. I'm starting to really like this. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on this, and then I will put the picture up for you.